Hello everyone, LEGO Mega 961 here with another review. Well, happy belated New Year. And for this review, I'm going to be reviewing Disney's first synchronized sound cartoon, Steamboat Willie. Released in 1928, Steamboat Willie is considered by many to be the first appearance of Mickey Mouse. But not to try to sound like tech, but technically Mickey's first appearance is Playing Crazy along with Minnie Mouse. So, just trying to clear some air. But before we can talk about the short as a whole, let's go over the development of what led up to Steamboat Willie's release. To the big screen, not being public domain. Now last year, in 2023, it marked 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. Originally called Disney Brothers Studios, it was later changed to the Walt Disney Company because, well, Walt was a creative genius. Now, if you know me and you know my channel, I love Disney. And I still do. On this channel, you hear me talk about my favorite rides, my favorite movies, and some of the LEGO sets that have celebrated Disney's 100th celebration. Now, due to the creation of the Walt Disney Company, Disney continued to work on many of the cartoons and shorts that we're seeing back then. Though my guess is seen today. Now, some of the shorts that Walt worked on was the Alice comedy shorts. Now, these shorts were of a live-action girl in an animated world, something we would see again in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to today. But sadly, the Alice comedy shorts were canceled altogether. And working with Universal, Walt decided to create a character named Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. But while on a trip to New York City, Universal bought Oswald and hired all of Walt's staff. But Oswald wouldn't come back to Disney until Bob Iger came in and exchanged Oswald for a sportscaster in the mid-2000s. And not to make sure that no one would ever purchase another cartoon character, Walt decided to create a character that would forever be a staple of the Walt Disney Company. Originally named Mortimer, is now called Mickey because of Lillian. And due to the success of Mickey, several cartoons were released. It's called Playing Crazy and the Galloping Gong Show, which marks the appearance of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. But somehow in 1927, sound was introduced, and it was the way of the future. Walt saw the jazz singer and thought, why don't I use that in some of my shorts? And yet we see that now. In production from July all the way to September of 1928, Walt and his team, including Ub Iwerks, decided to work on Steamboat Willie, and being the first synchronized sound cartoon. Now, they had the cartoon going, then you got the guys with the sound effects, next the voice actors and the music. They have to sync all at once. And with that, Steamboat Willie was released in November of 1928. And even a couple of days later, or in the year 2024, Steamboat Willie and Steamboat Willie's Mickey Mouse has become public domain. And I'll share my thoughts on Steamboat Willie and Steamboat Willie Mickey being public domain near the end of the video. Okay, so hold on to that. But like all Disney cartoons and movies, does Steamboat Willie hold up? Well, let's dive right into the short and find out. This is my review of Steamboat Willie. So our short begins on a riverboat. We see our hero Mickey Mouse piloting the riverboat, who was voiced by Walt Disney. Yes, folks, back then, Walt Disney used to voice Mickey Mouse. And he continued to voice Mickey Mouse all the way through the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, until the 60s. Now, as we all know, Mickey speaks in a falsetto because during that time, Walt couldn't find someone to do Mickey's voice right. So he voiced the character for a little while until sound producer Jack McDonald did the voice of Mickey for some of the shorts. Some, not all. But to be fair, Walt did sound good as Mickey. It's true. But the actual captain of the boat, named Pete, voiced by Walt, is not amused that Mickey is piloting his boat, so he sends him down below to do work on the steamboat. But here's a little fact. In the beginning of the short, you hear a tune playing that Mickey is whistling to. The name of the song is actually called Steamboat Bill, which you can find somewhere on YouTube. But if you're in a Disney theme park, if you hear that tune, you would think of Steamboat Willie. And the more you know, and knowing is half the battle. Coming to a small dock, Mickey picks up the animals and prepare to ship off. But not before a character named Minnie, who is voiced by Walt, rushes to the dock to get on board the steamboat. Now, over time, like I said, all the characters in the show were all voiced by Walt. But over time, they did get suitable voice actors and actresses to play these certain characters. Like, interesting fact, before where Donald Duck was voiced by Tony D, sorry if I don't know some of the actors or actresses' names, Donald back then was actually voiced by Clarence Nash. Now, he was given a nickname Ducky because, well, he talked like a duck. And as for the voice of Goofy, whose original name was Dippy Dog, he was voiced by Pinto Kovic. Before he was changed to Bill Farmer, well known for doing the famous Goofy Holler. Yeah, little known fact. But our hero helps Minnie get on board, which accidentally causes her drops her instrument and her notebook. This, of course, enters a song sequence called Turkey in the Straw. Now, like Steamboat Bill, Turkey in the Straw you can find somewhere on YouTube. Now, it is a early versions of the song called Zip Coon. Now, for those who know Song of the South being a controversial Disney film, it was later adapted into Splash Mountain. Now, the song Sippity Doodah, an author claimed the song was influenced by a pre-Civil War song called Zip Coon. Now, like many other songs, you can find Zip Coon somewhere on YouTube. That's just a little heads up. Now, for the entire sequence as a whole for Turkey in the Straw, Minnie used the goat as sort of a hand crank phonograph, while Mickey uses animals and other items as instruments. Like, he used a cow as sort of a xylophone. He uses a dog as sort of like a bagpipe or something. But overall, the entire sequence is really good. And the song, Turkey in the Straw, is actually really enjoyable. It is. Then Captain Pete appeared, furious at what's going on down below. Well, sends Mickey to the potato bin to peel potatoes as punishment. Pirate of the boat laughs at Mickey's punishment, which results in Mickey throwing the potato at him, and that marks the end of the short. And that's my review on Steamboat Willie. One of my thoughts? A really good short, and still is to this very day. I mean, the animation was really good. The sound effects were outstanding. I think the song sequences are top-notch. And above all, it's still good. Now, as to my thoughts on Steamboat Willie and Mickey's Steamboat Willie becoming in public domain, I was taken surprised by this. At first, I thought Mickey was leaving Disney as a whole. But much to my surprise, the current Mickey we have right now isn't. But this version of Mickey Mouse, via the Steamboat Willie version and the short along with it, is public domain. Now, I don't have an issue with it, though I did hear that they made Winnie the Pooh a horror movie, and someone adding Steamboat Willie, Mickey, as a horror creature in a video game. But I don't have an issue. But I prefer Mickey staying with Disney because, again, I love Disney. And I still do. And I'll continue to watch Disney related stuff until the end of time. And that's it for this review. And if you enjoyed this review and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notifications so that way you can be notified if I upload the next video. And as always, this is LEGO Maker 96-1 signing off.